What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are week 2 already of the NFL season, and it was such a great day to be a Green Bay Packers fan. They open up their home season at Lambeau Field against the Indianapolis Colts, who are also coming off a loss to the Houston Texans in a very close game. I think it was like 29-7. But man, oh man, what a fucking day it was. And let me tell you, I was definitely bummed out last week, but there is nothing like when your team wins on Sunday and the feeling of afterwards watching the 3 o'clock games and then watching Sunday night's game. It is just the immaculate feeling. I can't even explain. If you know, you know, and it's just I absolutely love the feeling of a dub after a Sunday. Man, what a game. I mean, going into this, you have Jordan Love, some people saying he's going to be out for, the whole season. Some people saying it might just be like 4 weeks. Then we get rumors that, it could potentially only be a couple weeks. And then, by Friday, it turned into a questionable thing. And he was questionable. I'm like, is this guy really going to play? He's coming off, 2 legendary quarterbacks that played nonstop through injuries. I mean, Brett Favre, number one when it comes to that. Oh, no. That's fair. Let's go. Willie Adames, let's fucking go. Brings in two RBI single, double. Willie Adames gives them the lead. Let's go, 7-5. That's your Brewers moment right there. Let's go. Willie Adames. Holy fuck. Wow. Unreal. Sidetrack, Willie might not be the best defender when it comes to shortstops. But man, he is just having such a great hitting season. 32 RBIs, over 100 32 home runs, over 100 RBIs. Like, man, that kid is killing it. Absolute fan favorite, Willie. Love him. And once again, that's your Brewers Minute, and that's it. No more Brewers talk. You Green Bay Packers. Yeah, going into this game, you got Jordan Love, who was questionable on Friday. Then on Saturday, it turns into doubtful. Just keep him healthy. Just have him rest up. Keep, getting that leg figured out. And so you got a guy in Malik Willis, coming. Yeah, I mean, as of today, was like hadn't been on the team for 20 days, and so obviously he's not going to know the playbook. Obviously, they're not going to give him a wide variety of throws to give him, and basically this comes down to this is going to be a Matt LaFleur game. He needs to be one of those top head coaches that you need him to be in order to get these type of wins, because you're not going to have, although Malik Willis is dynamic in the run game, back when he played at Liberty, I think he had over 2,000 yards rushing there in his career, and he's got a big arm. He's still super raw. I mean, he was third on the depth chart in Tennessee. Couldn't beat out Will Levis, and it was going to be. You have to manage the game right with this kid, and I said this on X. I've been through the Brett Hundley era. I've been through the Matt Flynn era. I've been through the Seneca Wallace era. I've been through the Scott Tolzien era. I can make it through Malik Willis era, and thank goodness he came in clutch today. 12 for 14, 122 yards, and a touchdown with 126 passer rating too. That's the underrated key moment of his play. He was smart with the football. He did the right things. Only 122 yards passing. It's not. That would be like very subpar quarterback play. But 12 for 14. He just did everything right. And the big part of his game, his running ability. 6 carries, 41 yards. Just made key runs on this Indianapolis Colts defense, which by all accounts, man, their defensive coordinator, Gus Bradley, their defense is just getting gashed in the run game. We're going to talk about Josh Jacobs in a second, but the previous week you had Joe Mixon, go for over 100 yards rushing and getting the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. And then you got Josh Jacobs, who came in this game, had 32 carries, 151 rushing yards, just absolute cowbell workman like on the fucking field. This guy absolutely, they gave him the ball any chance they get. And that's the crazy part is you knew this was going to happen. I mean, theoretically, these coaches on the Colts should have known, we're going to give Josh Jacobs the ball. Like, that's literally, we're not going to let Malik Willis throw, 15 yards down the field, like, consistently. This was the game plan. And the fact that the Colts defense couldn't hold up, and they knew this game plan, or at least you think they would, and they couldn't stop Josh Jacobs, good luck to those guys going forward. They lost one of their key guys today. Hopefully it's not a season ender, but DeForest Buckner is an absolute dog. So hopefully he can come back again this season. But, man, I just can't not emphasize. This is Josh Jacobs' fucking game right here. 32 carries. Like, any chance they get, they ran it. And what was the beautiful part about it is the line absolutely played so beautifully. A key guy that was blocking all day. It felt like, I think Greg Olsen even pointed it out. Any run design scheme that they ran towards was always on Tucker Kraft's side, the tight end, who by all accounts is taking a lot more snaps than Luke Musgrave is. And I think that's because of his blocking ability. He is superb when it comes to blocking these guys, getting an edge on defensive players. It's just so beautiful. And they would do a lot of misdirection stuff in the run game, just get the defense to think and stop for a second, and then all of a sudden you got Josh Jacobs running a direction, then he plants his foot, makes a nice cut, and just gets extra yards. It was just beautiful to watch. Like, it really felt like Vince Lombardi was like smiling down watching this game, because like the amount of like sweeps that they did, it was just like very Packers like of a game when it comes to running, which we don't see a lot of those anymore just because the nature of the NFL is such a passing league now. But it was just kind of cool to see them just run the ball, and even all the misdirections and the reverses like to Jaden Reed. I mean, once again, the guy is just such a dog. 2 carries for 37 yards, like just big key runs to like help keep the chains going and keep the sticks ahead of you type thing. And it's just you throw in the motions with this offense, it just creates a lot of problems and misdirections that keeps the defense on their toes and has to get them to think. Another guy that ran the ball today was the Green Bay Packers' 3rd-round pick from the University of Southern Carolina, Marshawn Lloyd. He had 6 carries for 15 yards. It was just nice to get him in the game, and although it averages out to like 2 yards a run, he did a lot better than what he showed. You could just see that his quick cut ability that oh no. Okay, we're good. It was good. They caught it at the warning track. We're good. We're good, Birds fans. You can see Marshawn Lloyd's quick cut ability when it comes to his game. Like, he did it all the time at USC. He'll run a certain direction, quick cut, stop, turn the other direction, and take it for a game that should be like -5. He'll turn it to a positive play. So his first game back, of course, he gets injured during the game. Once again, he starts off in training camp. I believe he hurts his hip, so he misses a lot of training camp. Then in the preseason opener, his hamstring, I think it was, hurts his hamstring in the first preseason opener, so that hurts. And then today it was like, don't quote me, but it was like either a shoulder or no, Jordan Morgan was a shoulder. I think it was like an ankle or something. It was like a 3rd different injury for Marshawn Lloyd that I think kept him out of the game. So you hate to see these injuries pile up for the kid, because you could see the vision that Goody had when he picked him. So hopefully he comes back healthy. At least we still got Emmanuel Wilson on the team, who had a couple nice runs too, just like a nice solid backup. But yeah, this was just such a great game and great. At least I'll say this in the first half, Matt just kept it so perfect in the game plan. Just didn't let Malik Willis go too crazy, like just nice, easy passes if he had to. Now, if the game turns like, if the Colts scored twice right away and they're forced to throw, it just kind of changes the whole game. But thankfully, the way this defense, and I'm going to get to the defense in a second here, but the way the game was going, it was just it was nice that Willis didn't have to like go crazy and make these, long third down throws. It was just nice and easy throws. And it helped because Josh Jacobs would just get, 3-4 yard gains on first and second down, then made those third downs very manageable to convert. It was really nice. And even the receivers did the few throws that Malik Willis did make. The receivers helped him out, gave their quarterback a chance to keep the drives going, keep the clock ticking. Guys like Romeo Doubs, 3 catches for 62 yards. 62 yards on 3 catches, that's pretty impressive. And then Dontavian Wicks, 3 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown. And especially on that touchdown that, kind of changes the whole game. It was either going to be a pick 6 by Moore, the cornerback for Indianapolis, or it was going to be a touchdown. And he literally threw it 1 yard longer than it had to be and gave Dontavian Wicks the ability to catch it and score on that play. And it was great to see Dontavian get into the end zone because he has, ultra potential. A second-year guy out of Virginia. He's just got loads of potential, and it was nice to see him get in the end zone, get in the Lambeau Leap. It was just beautiful to see. I just want to highlight Tucker Kraft once again. Yeah, he's the yak monster when it comes to tight end for this team. You thought it was going to be Luke Musgrave, and right now, when it comes to these first 2 games, it's been Tucker Kraft. 2 catches for 16 yards, and both those catches were like only 1 yard gains, and then he just had nice yards after the catch and was able to get to move the sticks and get 16 yards for those. It was great. This offense, although did I think Matt LaFleur, who preaches all gas no brakes, kind of let off the brakes in the second half? Yeah, I think he did, but it was nice to see that Green Bay's defense could keep everything afloat and keep everything, safe and manageable for the offense to just keep doing their thing. And that will lead me to the defensive side. What a day by the defense. Last week they gave up over 30 points in Jeff Hafley, the new defensive coordinator's debut, but I absolutely loved how they played today. You're playing the Indianapolis Colts, who Anthony Richardson is coming off a game where he had like a 70-yard bomb that might have been one of the greatest throws I've ever seen last week against the Houston Texans. The kid's dynamic. He really does remind you of like a Cam Newton type with his body and his play style. The way that the Colts run the offense is very similar to how the Carolina Panthers did with Cam Newton. But they held, especially in the first half, the defense held Anthony Richardson to really great. Richardson finished the game with 17 for 34, 204 yards, a touchdown, and three interceptions. One by Evan Williams, the rookie out of Oregon. One by Eric Wilson, who we're going to get to him real quick, and one by Xavier McKinney, his second pick of the season already. Week 2, our biggest free agent that we got from this last offseason. Xavier McKinney, coming from New York, just has been so great for this defense so far. He just plays fast, physical, and he just knows how to get to that ball. He's like a magnet when it comes to getting interceptions, being in the right spot. Man, I love Xavier McKinney, and if he keeps this up, it's going to be such a game changer for this defense. This guy, and Xavier McKinney also had a tackle for loss today. He just helps this defense so much, especially when you had like guys like Rudy Ford and Jonathan Owens last year and Darnell Savage. In the safety position, this guy comes in and completely transforms your safety room, and it's just so cool to see. Um, Another guy on the defense who had a fucking huge day, and it's a guy that we really needed to step up this season. A guy that you heard in training camp that has been, playing lights out with this Jeff Hafley system. A guy that's really gonna be a key contributor to this defense, especially the way that Hafley sets him up in his run defense scheme and lets him play fast and physical. And that was Devontae Wyatt, first-round pick from Georgia. He had a sack today, 2 tackles for loss. He just was like flying in the backfield. He was very Kenny Clark-esque. Like, he was just always in the backfield. Like, a half a second when the Colts snapped the ball, it just felt like Wyatt was in the backfield the whole game. He was just absolutely just killing this offensive line. And he had to line up against guys like Quentin Nelson. The Colts offensive line is no slouch, and Wyatt just absolutely had a game. You love to see it. Can't wait to see more of him, and it's a guy that the Green Bay Packers really need to step up, and it's a guy that he really needs to take that third year jump and be noticeable on the field, and have defensive coordinators be like, hey, who's this guy? Who's number 95 on the team that's wrecking havoc? He just needs to be a problem. Another guy that had a nice tackle for loss today, Lucas Van Ness, last year's first-round pick, a guy that is, by all accounts, a very raw guy, a guy that is a guy that you need to develop, and I know some people are already down and out on him. It's like, why isn't he this and why isn't he that? Is he just a bull rusher? He doesn't have any, swim moves or second moves to get off the edge. Well, he is only getting better. He's still raw, and yeah, maybe he's not gonna ever be like that 15 sack season guy, but not all first round picks paid. I don't even want to swing that narrative, because it's only his, what would it be, like his 18th or 19th game in the NFL. But it was just nice to see him have a tackle for loss, and I'll give him this. He always plays with hustle. Every single play. And I know that sounds weird to say when it comes to NFL players, but this guy, it's not for a lack of try with this guy. He is trying to get to the quarterback. He might not have a lot of, moves on this defense, or in his repertoire, but he is trying to beat these guys to get the tackles. It was good to see. Quiet game for Rashawn, but he was the little that I was watching. I'll have to see the all 22, but he was getting pressure. It looked like just want to see him develop. A guy that I want to see do better is Preston Smith. I know his thing is 1 year he's great, 1 year he's shitty. Next year he's great. Next year he's not moving as fast. And so right now we're at the year where he's not supposed to do good. I just want him to keep doing Preston and just I just want him to be better, basically. But man, I want to go back to a guy that made a key interception, and that's Eric Wilson, a guy who didn't get a lot of snaps last year, a guy who I think maybe only had maybe 20 defensive snaps last year. And it's not because he's a rookie or anything. He played for the Minnesota Vikings in his past before. And a guy who I always thought was a problem, when the Packers would play against the Vikings. It felt like he was always making tackles. But this past year or two, he just he's really just been a big special teams guy. He's very good in the special teams, making tackles, but never really got to see the field too much. Well, today he got a lot of plays, and it was really cool to see, because it just reminded me that was the guy that I saw at Minnesota who was making all these tackles. And for him to get that big interception, I think it was like he was covering like Mo Alley Cox on the Colts, and just made such a great catch, especially for a linebacker, to get that pick. It was just so beautiful to see, and love to see him more on the field. Especially, you got the defensive line. There's always rotating guys, Well, I like to kind of see that with the linebackers too. Quay, although led the team in tackles today with 6 solo, so that's kind of cool to see that 6. Um, he he just, I don't know. I'd have to look at the tape again, but it just felt like it was an off day for him, and he just like was making bad angles. It just feels like Quay is not going to be that middle linebacker. I feel like he'd be a great like outside linebacker type, but as that main guy in the middle, I just don't know yet. Will Edgerrin Cooper hopefully be that guy one day? I hope so because, you know, although wasn't as big as week one, just felt like you could still see his speed and that potential that you want for a guy that you drafted in the second round. So you hope Edgerrin Cooper keeps developing so he could eventually be that guy. But as for Quay, I don't know. It's only week 2, but I think right now he's probably just a good outside linebacker, not that middle guy. Um, Love to see Evan Williams get that pick at the end of the game to seal it. A guy who didn't play at all last week, a guy that was great in the preseason, and it was kind of concerning or confusing why he didn't get any snaps on the field last week. But Jeff Hafley came out during the week and said, "We're going to get this guy into some packages. He's a talent. We need to get him on the field." And it was nice to see him get that interception at the end to seal the game. Especially, the Colts in the second half were driving, making plays. Jonathan Taylor, from the University of Wisconsin was, I just got to say, the Colts fucking got one in Jonathan Taylor. And I know that's not like a hot take or anything, but man, that guy's vision for the field, like the dude absolutely knows how to watch his linemen set up the play and him just like gash right through those blocks because he was just doing it. Whenever the Colts had success, he would just do it in a precise fashion. And it was the Colts. You got one, 12 carries, 103 yards. Most of that in the second half too, but yeah, it was pretty moderate day for the Colts. Like Richardson only had 204 yards, and Alec Pierce, he went 5 for 56 and a touchdown. I liked him when I was studying him out of Cincinnati. I think he's going to be a good weapon for them. Adonai Mitchell only had 1 catch for 30 yards. He's the kid out of Texas who's a rookie this year. Had a huge drop on a third down, I believe, that would have kept the chains going and maybe swung the momentum for the Colts. I think he had a couple drops. He might have had a couple drops, and it was nice as a Packer fan. But I think there's definitely hope for that kid. So don't give up on him. He's a good talent. But it was so. What I just want to say, it was just such a great day to get a win, and you needed it. Going to 0-2, would have been just like it. Just kind of as a Packers fan, I would have thought it would have took the division out of it. Like maybe we could sneak into the wild card, but when you go 0-2, it's just like it always, especially with teams like Detroit in your division and Minnesota, who's somehow 2-0. Right now after beating the San Francisco 49ers. It kind of takes the division out of it. But thankfully, Green Bay could get a win. We'll see if Jordan Love comes back from the Rappaports and the Diana Rossinis. It sounds like it's probably not going to be next week either. But if he's healthy, I say you get him in. If he's healthy enough, just keeps everything. Because there's no way they can do this game plan again. There's no way, even going against Tennessee next week, there's no way that we're going to be able to do that again. Just have Josh Jacobs work give him 32 carries and we're just going to only throw for 14 yards. It can work one week, but there's no way that it could do it again. No way. So, I hope Jordan comes back. Obviously don't want to rush it, but Jordan just kind of changes this offense and gives guys like Christian Watson, who didn't even have a catch today, not because of his fault, but I'm assuming it's because of the game plan. It gives him more targets, gives Romeo Doubs more targets, gives Jaden Reed, who I think only had 1 catch today. It just it opens up this offense, and this offense has a lot of potential. Um, so, yeah, my main takeaways is this defense is going to be good, I think. Gosh, I hope I don't regret saying that, but I think this defense is going to be good. Xavier McKinney is a game changer. Devontae Wyatt had a huge game. Josh Jacobs, what a workhorse, day for him. 32 carries, 151 yards. And let me just say real quick, I love Aaron Jones so much. If you guys watch me in any sort of way, you know my love for Aaron Jones. But it's so funny seeing these 32 carries for Josh Jacobs because Matt LaFleur, for whatever reason, for better or for worse, if it's because Jones is kind of a smaller guy or whatever, or you want to say injury prone, even though he's not injury prone, it was only last year he was injury prone. Matt LaFleur would have never gave Aaron Jones those 32 carries in a game. No fucking way. Even if Aaron Jones was playing today, he maybe would have gotten like 18, 19 carries, but 32 carries, they are going to work Josh Jacobs all season. Now, is that a good thing? Or, by the end of the season, will he be like too tired type thing? We'll see. But I kind of like this because Green Bay and Matt has always been like, we're not gonna give Aaron Jones the ball right now. We gotta wait until December and January, and then he gets his touches. And it helped. Let's go. Sal Frelick, base hit, brings in Eric Haas. Brewers lead 8-5. Let's fucking go. Magic numbers 3. Let's try to get it fucking by Monday. All right. Anyways, Packers win 16-10. They escape and get their first win of the season. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the Sunday. But yeah, Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, Devontae Wyatt, my fucking dogs of the game. Peace.